morning. Welcome to another edition of Your Father's Story with me, your dad. So, the question for today is, did I ever want to travel the world? And if so, where would I go and why? Well, I have traveled a little bit. Probably my first travels that were on my own without Tutu and Papa were when I was deployed overseas. When I was in the military, I went over to Iraq, a place called Balad Air Base, just north of Baghdad. I wouldn't call that a great travel experience. But along the way, we stopped in, We stopped in Germany for like 2 or 3 days each way, and that was super awesome. It was kind of quick, but it wasn't, what I'd really call traveling, so to speak. It was just moving through, so to speak. Didn't really get to experience too much of the culture, short of the delicious food and beverages. I guess that is a big part of culture. But other than that, kind of my biggest international trip was the one that I went on when I was in college, when I was at the U of O, when I went on that big trip, if you remember. I was gone for about a month. That was a really great trip. We were in Germany, Valbonne, which is just outside of Freiburg, Amsterdam in the Netherlands, which is an amazing city. That was super cool. We were there the longest. I think we were there for almost 2 weeks total. Then we went to Malmö, which is in Sweden, for about 3-4 days, and then Copenhagen in Denmark for about 3-4 days. And that was really great. I really enjoyed that trip. I learned so much just about other cultures and just the way that other people live, and to see that it's possible to do amazing things on a very large scale. So that was a really formative, great trip, international trip for me. As far as, other places that I'd like to go and see, I'm actually really happy with or without traveling. Traveling to see other places I think is really important, though, because it helps kind of just get us out of our space, what we're used to, for a moment, and give us a little bit of perspective, seeing the way that other people live. And also, it's kind of interesting when you do these trips or vacations like that, you zoom out of yourself a little bit too, and maybe, not only are you understanding and seeing how other people live, but you're also understanding and seeing, in a way, in how you live and what your perceptions are of the world. And almost always when you come back, you look at you have just a little bit of a different lens when you come back to your world. So, some places that I still would like to go and travel. I'd really like to go to Japan. There's a few different places in Japan that I'd like to see. There's Kyoto is a very amazing place from what I understand. But more than anything, the Japanese culture, I don't think to me, it's not necessarily a specific place. It's just the Japanese culture, I think, resonates with a lot of human beings because it's so intentional, so purposeful. They have such a high level of craftsmanship when it comes to everything that they do. And it's absolutely fascinating. So Japan would be one place that I'd still like to spend some time in. I'd really like to go to Spain. because two of my favorite architects are Spanish architects, Antoni Gaudí and Santiago Calatrava. Yeah, they do some really amazing work. I'd really love to see their work, and then also, you know, their culture, the Spanish culture, is fascinating in its own right as well. Yeah, Spain, Japan. There's certainly other, you know, amazing places out there that are drawing maybe for anybody, but I think for me, those two are probably the two places I'd be the most interested in traveling to. You know, if I weren't able to go for whatever reason, it's not like my life, you know, I missed out on something. It's just, oh, that's a bonus. That'd be really cool to go check out. So yeah, either way, like, travel is really, really, it's really great for the soul, but it's not the only thing, right? Like, I think what a lot of people do is when they, you know, they have this idea in their head that, you know, traveling somewhere, going to a different country, or you know, having a vacation in this destination is going to somehow, like, make them a better person or change what's happening in their world at home. And I think maybe to a certain degree it does, but there's like this buildup of where people think that, like, you can't have a full life unless you travel, which is completely not the case. Certainly it does help you become more worldly and more understanding, and maybe perhaps more empathetic and sympathetic towards someone who isn't from this country, and maybe it helps you empathize with people in other countries that are maybe in not particularly in the best situation, certainly. But I think what a lot of people do is they go and travel, and, you know, they get back and then they realize that, hey, you know, I brought my same sad self to this place and I wasn't happy, and I came home and I wasn't happy either, you know. So, like, people, that's the unfortunate thing, is people who are not in a bad place think that if they go to some destination, they're going to be better, you know. I definitely suggest it if you're, like, happy and you're in a good place, you know, doing it with the understanding that it's not going to bring you any more happiness. You're just going to have a different, rich experience, right? And that's how we should all approach not just travel, but life in general. You know, each moment can be a really great, genuine, authentic experience, and to treasure it. You know, it doesn't matter where you're at, whether you're in Cottage Grove, Oregon, or you're in Amsterdam's Netherlands. We only have one life. We only have one moment, which is this moment. So let's treasure it. So, the best place to be is wherever you're at, right at that moment. So, anyways, that's my thoughts on travel. Catch you later. Have a great day. Love you.